fly list, no drive list, no walk list, no talk list, no muckraking journalist left to take stock of the wholesale omission of outside perspectives. How does it make you feel to know you voted for this? So much for your hopes and your dreams and your children. You just sat there believing this bullshit system, just hoping the mob would magically come to its senses. How does it make you feel to know you stood by and watched it? Dazed, numb, powerless, stunned, as we frantically click our heels on radio. The bands, the sports, the booze, it's all that's left of you. When the cops and the courts refuse to confess the sins of the few, what is there left to do? The answer's right before your eyes. Rise, rise.
Hi, Robby. How's it going?
It's going great.
Well, I'm so delighted to be with you here. Why don't you go ahead and just say to the listeners of Unscripted Moments, a podcast about propaganda, who you are, and then maybe tell them where we are.
Sure. My name's Robby. I have been doing a mostly acoustic project called the Ghostwrite since 2007.
Mm-hmm.
I've played probably every basement and dive in North America
Yeah.
at this point, or most of them, probably not all of them. And we are currently hanging out at the corner of Prospect and Carolina Street here in Buffalo. We just had a nice meal.
Yeah, we went to Strong Hearts, and we're about a block off Niagara Street. So it's a beautiful late summer evening. It's about 70 degrees out. The sun's going down, and we are literally, I'm sitting in the car, and Robby's standing next to the car, and we're having so we got some nice ambient sounds going here. So, Robby, the reason that you're here right now is that I wanted to chat with you a little bit about Note to Self, okay? And I wanted to do a mini episode, and since you're passing here through Buffalo, I thought that we should, hang out for a few. So we had this wonderful dinner, but the other day I was digging through your Bandcamp for the Ghostwrite, and I found this Note to Self cover that you did, I guess, 10 years ago.
It's been 10 years.
Okay, so, which is close to when the record came out. And so why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about, your appreciation of Failed States and this tune, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, I think I have a great appreciation for every prop album, but I feel that Supporting Cast and Failed States are sibling records.
Mm-hmm.
And Supporting Cast on most days, if you ask me, is my favorite by them. And then Failed State kind of falls right with that. And I listen to the shit out of every album when it comes out. And Note to Self just really hit me pretty instantly. Because it was like, I know that Chris wrote it as a self-reflection, but I was like, this could be me. And I just love that. It's one of my favorite songs by them. I don't play guitar that good, so
right.
But I wanted this song to be part of like just what I do when I play shows, because it just spoke to me so much. And so I just turned it into kind of like a really kind of folky, punky version of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I play it almost every show to this day.
Dude, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, tell me a little bit about like figuring it out, like working your way through it when you were originally making it to where you kind of adjusted some of the melodies, and obviously you had to kind of figure out a different way to play it that was kind of a little more less talk, more rock, and a little less Failed States. So I'm curious, like, how did you kind of put this one together?
So I was writing an album at the time, and it just kind of stream of conscious I had the lyrics, and I just started playing and singing, and it didn't change a whole lot in the final, like, that album, that entire album it's on, it was all recorded in a row house in Baltimore by Brooks Harlan, who's in War and Women.
Oh my gosh.
Also in Jawbox. And we did it at the row house I was living at, and we just did it all in one take. Like,
Yeah.
It was all just live from the floor. And so when I was writing that album, I just had the lyrics, and I was just like, this is how this song sounds to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, the melodies are all different, and I totally turned it into a Ghostwrite song.
So tell me about playing it live now. Like, do you ever get like reactions from people who kind of like figure it out in the middle of it? Like, oh my gosh, that's a Propaganda song.
Every once in a while, but even if people don't figure it out, it always hushes the crowd. Even if it's a noisier room, because I'm usually just playing by myself with the guitar, and it always just pulls the crowd in.
Yeah.
I just played a show in Cincinnati, and somebody that was there, I played it, and they were like, yeah, Propaganda. And then they were like, play more Propaganda. And they were just fucking around, but they didn't realize.
Yeah, that you know how to play out
I was
tons
just like,
of songs.
all right. And so I just played Propaganda songs for the rest of the night until my set was over. And they were like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, but so it's not often that people will, only the real diehards will. And that's how I'm like, oh, we're going to be friends. If you come up and you're like, that's a prop song before even knowing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I love that, people out there listening may or may not know that you've done all of Less Talk More Rock as kind of like a super fun project that you just did on your own.
I did. That was my COVID therapy.
Yeah. So, I mean, your appreciation goes deep. How much of that stuff can you remember how to play? Do you know how to pretty much play all of it?
If gun to my head, I could play Less Talk More Rock. I could play most of Today's Empires. It gets a little bit dicey after that because the songs start to get really, really technical after that era. And not just like Today's Empire is pretty technical, but it's in a way that it's like really pretty punky.
Right.
That you can make it a 3-chord, banger. But like once it gets into like Potemkin, supporting cast, Failed States, like Victory Lap I could probably do more of if I really sat down with it.
Yeah.
Like Victory Lap kind of comes full circle back to more like Today's Empires. But
tell me a little bit about how you feel about Note to Self lyrically. Tell me about this song, kind of like what it means to you, kind of what it says to you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on this earlier. I know that it was Chris being self-reflective and thinking about it, written in that kind of, hey, this is, a note to myself.
Yeah.
But I was like, I feel like it was written for me in a lot of ways, because a big part of my life was just consumed by drinking too much and like maybe paying too much attention to sports that don't really matter in the long run. So that part, and then just the idea of like the futility of it. Of trying to rise above it, but then at the end, where it's like, it's not completely hopeless. It's just mostly hopeless, but even in the hopelessness, trying to rise up and do something with that.
Nice.
Yeah, that song really inspires me. I know that it's really like, it's a pretty like sledgehammery, like kind of hits you, knocks you down to your knees. But I do find it really inspiring.
Well, because that's the big thing that has jumped out at me so much is the total reimagining of the song. Because, a lot of covers are very, faithful to the originals, and this one is totally you. And, because I've listened to your other stuff, and I'm like, this fits so well. Tell me a little bit more about the record that it's on, because that sounded like kind of a special one.
Yeah, I mean that was it for Ghostwrite. The Monster Punch album was, it was, I'm not popular at all, but it was my most popular album by a long shot. It's got songs that people still, when I play, are like, they're like looking to hear more songs from that album than any other one I have. It was just a really special time. I was really into it, really feeling it.
That's a good problem to have, though. Yeah. To have a record that is that kind of like your special one that kind of like sticks with you?
It is, and it was recorded in such a really honest and really DIY, captured like the DIY spirit, where Brooks literally just brought mobile equipment over to the house, set it up, and he joked that it took him more time to set up the equipment than it did to actually record it.
Yeah.
Because it was all, another thing that's really special is I think that whole album was recorded in less than 2 hours.
Nice. I love it how you said that on your Bandcamp too. It's like, this record was recorded in 2 hours, but the hundreds of hours that went into it, you know what I mean?
So I thought about it every day. I was working in trade shows at the time.
Yeah.
And so I would be, working some shitty trade show, and I would come back to this house, and I would just play until like it was time for bed.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Well, Robby, I am thrilled that you wanted to include your cover on the show. It's been awesome hanging here in Buffalo and, having dinner with me. Great times. Went to Strong Hearts. It was delicious. Why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners who have heard your cover before this chat where they can find your work if they want to join up and follow along with what you're doing.
Yeah, so the ghostwrite.bandcamp.com, all my music's available for free download. If you feel like you want to donate, go ahead. Don't feel obligated, just download away. Free of charge. You can find me on Instagram at the Ghostwrite, I think.
Okay.
That's really, like, I use Facebook a little bit, but that's like a dead platform mostly. Like, I post there, nobody really pays attention. Instagram is where I do any sort of social mediaing.
Awesome.
The Bandcamp is the best place to get the music. That's the only spot you can really get Ghostwrite music is on Bandcamp. So
fabulous. Well, Robby Lester, the Ghostwrite, thank you so much for hanging out and chatting about Note to Self with me.
Yeah, thanks for doing the best podcast about the best band on the planet.
Love it, man.
Publicly subsidized, privately profitable, the anthem of the upper tier puppeteer, untouchable. Focus a moment, not in approval. Bury your hags in the barcodes of these neo-colonials. Our former nemesis, the romance of the nation state, now plays fundraiser for a new grip power concentrate. Try again, but now I'm confused. What is class war? This is class war, yes, this is class war. And I'm just a kid. Can't believe I've gotta worry about this kind of shit. What a stupid world. And it's beautiful. No regard for principle. What a stupid world. Born, hired, disposed, where that job lands. Everybody knows, you can tell by the smile on the CEO. Environmental restraints about to go. You can bet laws will be set to ensure the benefit of unrestricted labor laws. Kept in place by displaced government death squad. They own us. They own us. Produce us. Consume us. They own us. They own us. Produce us. Consume us. Can you fucking believe what a stupid world? Fuck this bullshit display of class loyalties. The media and our leaders wrap it up in a flagship rag parade.